The Avengers films always come out and make bank, but also they're very expensive. Avengers Endgame cost $500 million to just make, and with its production budget and of course the marketing budget, it was closer to $750 million. We can expect that Doomsday is going to be somewhere in that ballpark, if not more expensive. So what if that film flops? What if Avengers Doomsday is a flop? That's what we're covering in today's video. When I put out the call for more Ask Armin, one of the most demanded topics I talk about in depth is what if Avengers Doomsday flops? And some people were saying that's not possible. Other people are saying it is. So here I'm going to look at this realistically, and we're going to just kind of sit back and look at the facts. So the facts are that Marvel Studios has been having trouble the last couple of years for various reasons, from a pandemic to Marvel Studios taking orders from previous CEO Bob Chapek, who misled all of Disney into a disaster, to pivoting hard again, specifically for Avengers and the MCU. And one of the biggest reasons they had to pivot was Jonathan Majors, Kang the Conqueror, getting into legal trouble and being fired. This was a massive problem, obviously, so they had to pivot. And their pivot was a desperation move of bring back Robert Downey Jr., not as Iron Man, but as Victor Von Doom. Now, this, of course, got more buzz than anything Marvel has announced since Avengers Endgame. And maybe right up there with Spider-Man No Way Home leaks, right? It was massive. So when we look at the future, when we look at the Avengers brand and Marvel Studios, it's quite evident that nostalgia sells. So you got newer characters in films that aren't working out as much, or characters that are taking over like Captain America. But you see in Spider-Man No Way Home, nostalgia sold that film and made it a $2 billion hit. Deadpool and Wolverine, $1.3 billion off of nostalgia. Not Deadpool, Wolverine nostalgia, because they knew what they were selling. So let me present to you this. You're sitting down as a general audience member, right? At the end of this year, watching some film, the new Avatar film, guaranteed, right, is going to have something attached to it. And you're the general audience. Avatar is going to be a big film. And suddenly, Robert Downey Jr. is on your screen, but he's wearing green armor. And suddenly, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and Deadpool, and then maybe Captain America, but something looks off about him, and Doctor Strange, and the Hulk, and Spider-Man. And suddenly, what happens? Recognition. You recognize that nostalgia, that thing you crave for. The thing that made you remember that moment in the theater when the portal scene happens and you're cheering and everybody's screaming and you got chills. That's what it's going to remind you of. Unless Doomsday comes out and it's the worst film ever, and even then, it's still going to make money. Justice League and Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, got destroyed with reviews, but the characters carried it, and nostalgia from fans who love those characters from different mediums. I have a friend who, literally to this day, he says Batman v Superman and Justice League are better than any Marvel Studios film ever. He's a diehard DC guy. Okay? Like, to him, that's true. Is it fact? Well, not according to the mass audience, the critics, or anybody, but that's him, right? That's what he likes. That's fine. This film, Avengers Doomsday, even on its worst day, it's going to make $8, $9, $1 billion easily. Easily. In its opening weekend, this thing is going to pull in worldwide easily $500 million. Easily. Let's say it takes a decent drop, 250 the following weekend. Do the math, 1 billion easily, but it's going to do more than that. I can't talk about what if Doomsday fails? And what if it's a flop? Because I don't think it's going to be. Now, let's go, let's try. Okay, let's say complete flop. The film comes out, let's say $500 million. It doesn't even break even. It doesn't even cover the production of the film and the marketing. What then? Well, what happens then is that Avengers Secret Wars is delayed, and they try to fix it up, and they go for a Hail Mary move. But mark my words, if Avengers Doomsday flops, and it falls up into Secret Wars, which would also mean it has to flop, right? It has to. What do you got? Marvel as a brand is dead. If Avengers doesn't sell, Marvel doesn't sell. But again, I gotta remind you, Wolverine alone helped Deadpool add another $600 million to his maximum threshold of box office. I just don't see a future. I know people are going to get mad at me like, oh, he can't speculate. He's such a fanboy. How do I speculate about something that's not going to happen? That's what I need people to understand. On its worst day, this film will make $1 billion. It's going to easily top the original Avengers and Age of Ultron. Does it get up close to Avengers Infinity War and Endgame? Does it pass $2 billion? I think so. I think it's going to do it. But again, we just don't know where it's going to go. And who knows what type of catastrophe would have to happen with this film to completely tank it, you know? I just can't picture that scenario. Because they went out of their way to literally answer all the critiques. You killed off Tony Stark. We want him back. Well, he's going to stay dead, but here's Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. You all wanted Dr. Doom. One guy gave Wakanda Forever a terrible rating because he was told Dr. Doom would be in the post-credit scene. Moron. Here you go. Here's your Dr. Doom. Hey, what else do you like? Oh, you like the Russo brothers? Fine. They're back. You want more variants? Here you go. Who else? You like Chris Evans? We're going to add him in as well. Screw it. Like, they're doing everything they can to win the fans back. That can backfire. It did for Rise of Skywalker, clearly. But Marvel now is a stronger film brand than Star Wars. So I don't see it happening. But I guess we'll know in May of next year. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.